Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn a little bell on the side, so once we have all the updated news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Today's date is the 2021 December the 15th of December 2021. It's a very important date since the beginning of a pandemic, and it's the day that Australia as a nation says our border is now open. Now obviously there has been a lot of queries, a lot of comments, either gonna be positive comments or negative comments, millions of them blowing out for the past 2 years, but today is the date that the border is officially open for Australia. It's just right before Christmas, and also meant that the government official will not have a Christmas holiday. Obviously we'll plenty busy time processing all these visa and travelers into Australia and Australian traveling out of Australia for Christmas holiday. But bear in mind, just make sure you have your health and safety protection and all that prepared before you travel internationally. So let's jump into the actual immigration web page specially designed for today. Today is a day, the 15th of December 2021. So let's have a look what is there and what is expected. So this information, this video is for you to prepare if you want to travel in and out of Australia. All right, okay, so this, you may want to do a search. You can also find this web page yourself. So it's under the Department of Home Affairs, with the title COVID-19 and the border travel restriction and exemptions. And how do I know this is actually the updated information? So it's at the very end. I'm not too sure if you can see that. It says last updated 15th of December 2021. So this is the most updated information that I'm bringing to you in this channel. So make sure if you want to get the most updated information on visa and immigration news, this is the channel to be in. So let's have a look. Apart from jumping into all the contents, let's going through one by one. So what is expected from today? So travel restriction and exemptions. Travel to Australia is only available if you are exempt, okay, or you have been granted individual exemptions. Now what that actually meant, today is the day for border opening, is that means the exemption is broadening up to a lot of people. Okay, so it's still under the exemptions. They just wanted to have that little bit of control left for the government of Australia if shit happens. Okay, travel restrictions are subject to change in response to circumstances surrounding COVID-19. So that's it. That's why they still wanted to call exemption, although a lot of people are actually being exempt now. The only traveler is still not exempt is the tourists. So I expect tourists will be opening up exempt well, next year hopefully, but at this point in time not yet. Okay, so you can stay informed later to update information on this page regularly. I mean, well, who will stay in checking out Home Affairs news page regularly? I mean, probably me, but I think a lot of people won't do that. I mean, that's just really weird that you want to update information and web page every day. Anyway, subscribe to my channel so you get updates. Okay, if you are transiting through Australia, through further information can be found Transiting Australia web page. I mean, if it's transiting, it's rare, but it may be. For example, if you travel from Asia to New Zealand, for example, probably transit is the only way. But if it's only transiting, I don't think there's too much information or required to be aware of. Okay, parent of Australian citizen and permanent resident. So if you're a parent and your children is in Australia and they are Australian citizen and permanent resident, for information about parents, immediate family, basically that's exempt. Okay, so you can now travel as a tourist having a visitor visa, provided that you can actually buy a fair air tickets. What I mean is, during the past 2 years, I mean, the air ticket to and out of Australia is extremely expensive. So the cost to actually just to go and visit might not be, I mean, might not be might be the reason to stop you during visiting. Okay, anyway. Exemption requesting escort Australian citizen permanent resident minor. So this it will still go ahead. So it's a very rare situation where you they are Australian resident children still out of Australia and wanted to travel into Australia. So anyway, travel extension may be granted people escorting. So it should be a guardian or adult or someone. Okay, so if you're traveling with a minor and you are not an Australian citizen, as long as you are, the sole purpose is escorting Australian citizen or permanent resident minor, which means child, that's okay for you to do so. This will ensure safety and welfare of Australian child. Travel exception category: following circumstances, one guardian for each child under age of 2 years would generally be approved. Only one guardian with same family group that's over 2. Okay, additional guardian may be considered in case-by-case circumstances. So you need to submit an exemption. That's what they're trying to say. How do you submit travel exemptions? It's right down here, or you can actually Google. See that button there, big button, apply for travel exemption. Anyway, let's go back up here. I've actually done a specific video on this one, so you might want to check that one out, how to apply travel exemptions. Okay, now temporary visa holder can depart Australia but at any time. So that means, well, if you're not Australian citizen or resident, you can go anytime. So I think that's being there along, provided you can pay for the air ticket. I mean, it's not a fair fare for air ticket during those 2 years. I'm not too sure at the moment. Probably check your local travel agencies or airline, give them a call, check out the air tickets and prices. Or perhaps if you do know the cost of flying, why don't you leave a comment right down below and just keep this channel as a forum as well. There's so many people watching it. Let them know what is the cost of traveling from this route or that route, or going through that country, transit from that country and coming to Australia. What is the cost? I think that would be very helpful for a lot of viewers and friends out there. All right, exemption except category. As you can see, they are expanding it. You are automatically, you don't need to do anything. Okay, you're automatically exempt from travel restriction and can enter Australia if you're an Australian citizen, permanent resident, immediate family. That's what we have just talked about. The parent of Australian citizen and permanent resident. New Zealand citizen, usually resident in Australia. Person who have been in New Zealand, Australia for 14 days immediately prior arrival. So these people are all exempt. Okay. And who else? Diplomatic accredited to Australia. So anyway, that's government officials from different countries. Person transiting for less than 72 hours. So that's exactly what we have just talked about, transiting. So that means you don't need to do anything with it. Now bear in mind, it doesn't mean you're safe. You still need to take care of your personal hygiene and health safety nets for all the international travelings. Air crews, person recruiting on a government approved seasonal worker program, Pacific Labour Scheme. I mean, anyway, okay, if you are that kind of person, that's fine. Person who hold a business innovation investment subclass 1AA visa. Okay, now people asking me, what if I'm holding a bridging visa? Well, it's not saying here, so I don't think you are automatically exempt. You are required still to go through individual application or exemptions. Okay, fully vaccinated Singaporean citizen, fully vaccinated Japanese citizen, and fully vaccinated Korean citizen. Okay, and fully vaccinated person who holds a valid listed new arrangement eligible visa holders. So that will be, let's have a look at that page there. I think that will include all the work visas, international student visas, and also working holiday visas. So let's jump into that page, and here we go. New a range of eligible visa holders. So if you're these are family related and humanitarian, and work visa is all the four, start with 4. So working holidays in there, beautiful. 485 visa holders. 462 work in holiday visa, and the student visas, and the visa from 8 is all the families visas. So again, that's for you to have a look there. So that means you need to be fully vaccinated. So question here, if you're not fully vaccinated, can you travel? Yes and no. Now, if you're a visa holder of these visa holders and you're not fully vaccinated, no. But if you're not fully vaccinated but you are a permanent resident, yes. But obviously you need to pay for the mandatory quarantine hotel of the 14 days. Other than that, that is basically it, and individual exemptions. So let's have a look here. Commissioners of Australian Border Force and Decision Maker may grant you individual exemptions. These are for those, for example, bridging visa. Now, perhaps you are a business innovation visa applicant, and who has been in Australia for a while, waiting for visa to be granted, and you're on bridging visa, then yes, probably yes. Okay, and if you're on the critical skill sector, and the priority migration skill occupation list, that's for all, I think it's all the engineer, IT, and the what else, the health sectors there, medical and people. I'm not gonna go through military and that kind of people. That's for all the government related stuff. Students have been selected to take part in international student arrival plan. Student in final 3 years, higher degree PhD student, student completed year 11 and 12. So anyway, I think this is redundant because at here we already know that all the student visa can enter. So that is redundant. That is the old news now, not applying anymore, because that will basically cover all that part there. Okay, now coming down here, you need to apply exemption at least 2 weeks, so you need to do that. So, and compassion and compelling reason, that's for people who are perhaps, I've seen people trying to apply for and to exempt for the reason of attending a marriage ceremony. I think that will be rejected. And what about the funeral? That will be rejected as well for public health reasons. So I'm not too sure what else can be actually gone through this, but apart from all that, the all up here is actually covering probably 70-80% of the conventional travelers in and out of Australia already. And if you do so, required to do a travel exemption, as I have talked about early this video right here about those reasons, you may do so, apply there. But I don't think there's any reason. See, if it asks if you are a parent of Australia, you might need to apply, but here it's already talking about immediate family of Australian citizens is automatically exempt. So why would you need to apply for exemption anymore? So anyway, good news today, 15th of December 2021, just right before Christmas, Australia's border has officially opened for 70-80% of different type of travelers in and out of Australia. It's a good news, and it's a good beginning. Why? The reason I said that, if you follow my channel long enough, you know that the pandemic obviously has caused negative to a lot of reasons to the economy, but it's a good news for immigration, for migration as well, because how Australians deal with the economy over times, if economy is no good, migration level will be pushed up in order to balance the economy of the Australian future. Anyway, should you have more question or query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below, and I see you next video. Goodbye.